All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Meeting of the Carver Select Board for Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. This meeting is being cablecast by Area 58 Community Access Media, Channel 15, and will be posted by Area 58 on YouTube as soon as possible. There are openings on several committees. Please refer to the Select Board page on our website for a listing and application. The Planning Board has an opening for an associate member. Applications for this will be accepted in the Select Board office until the last week in May. If we could all stand for the pledge. Mr. Hoffman, could you read our community prayer?
Almighty God, humbly we pray our blessing as we concern our life with the opportunity to serve our community. Enhance us with your spirit of dignity and selflessness. May we become instruments of support and understanding as we seek to bring an environment of trust and purpose among all who provide the many services that make us all that we can become. Help us achieve the goals of our commitment in this office that is now our responsibility. And especially we lift our prayers for all the citizens of our community that we have been allowed to serve, that they may discover the fullness and joy of life that we all seek. And keep those serving in our armed forces and our first responders in our hearts and thoughts. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. All right. Our first item on the agenda this evening is citizens' participation. Are there any members of the public who would like to address the board this evening? All right. Seeing none, we will move on to the presentation of the Robert H. Merritt Public Service Award, which is being presented tonight to Madeline Joyce.
So the Robert H. Merritt Public Service Award was created and presented to Bob Merritt in 1996 by the Select Board in recognition and appreciation for outstanding public service to the town of Carver in making it a better community in which to live. The town of Carver has continued to recognize the efforts of community members over the last several years. This year's recipient is Madeline Joyce. Madeline is not able to be here tonight, but hopefully she will be able to see this maybe on Area 58. Madeline's contributions to Carver include dedicating 16 years of volunteer service to the town through the Carver Lions Club, the Commission on Disability, and the Friends of the Council on Aging. During this time, Madeline headed fundraising efforts to benefit local charities such as Shane Gives Thanks Food Pantry, Carver Middle High School and Old Colony Regional Voc Tech High School scholarships, the Young People's Alliance of Carver, Carver Boy Scouts, Cranberry Hospice, and more. Madeline cares about the success of the organizations she volunteers for and spends much of her time making sure things are moving forward. During the summer, you can find her making plans for the holiday fair. Even then, when she's not feeling well, she will be advocating for a golf tournament. Madeline has also been known to hit up local businesses for donations of gift cards for the Council on Aging. She puts all of her energy into making sure her volunteer efforts not only grow, but flourish. I would just want to add one last thing about Madeline, which is a quote we received from Peter Benson. What I admire most about Madeline is her sense of humility. Never did I hear her brag about her accomplishments or how much time she spent doing something, or how tired she may have been. She did it because she had a special gift of giving of oneself. So we have a plaque here that will be hung in the town hall that has Madeline's name on it. And we also have a plaque that will be presented to Madeline by her friend Jackie Rogerson. Jackie, do you want to say a few words for Madeline? Why don't you come here and talk into the mic?
Thank you. Madeline will be so happy to receive this. Thank you all very much. Madeline will be so happy to receive this. And as Elaine had mentioned, it's not for what she is getting from it. It's how she is giving to others to make everyone happy, or to make the Council of Aging a nice place for seniors to be, and having our events, which was her favorite thing to be involved with, in raising funds to help with the trips for the seniors, and different events that we would have. But I just want to thank everyone very much because this is well-deserved for Madeline.
Right, and if I could just quickly add that I had the pleasure of serving with Madeline on the Commission for Disability, the Friends of the Council on Aging, and as president of the Lions Club, and she was truly an extraordinary volunteer, and she didn't just join organizations, she got totally involved in them, so this was a tremendous choice for this award. Anything from members of the board? All right, thank you very much, everybody. Next is a Conservation Commission applicant for vacancy, David Hall. Mr. Hall, if you'd like to step up, please. You should all have Mr. Hall's application in your packet. Mr. Hall, if you'd just like to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I moved to Carver in October 2021. I'm retired. I'm a retired geologist. I've worked in the environmental field for about 30 years, and I thought that I could. I saw there was an opening, and I thought that I could contribute. And I was on the previous to living in Carver. I lived in Wareham for about 3 years. I was on the Conservation Commission there also, and it looked like it was a good fit for my background. I thought, well, I could maybe help out a little bit with that. So.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Ms. Ewens?
Yeah, sorry. I have allergies, excuse me. I'm not sick. That you could help out, that's an understatement of the year. This is awesome. Looks like, Mr. Hall, you were part of the New Jersey Geological Survey.
Correct. Yes.
That's a big deal. On the Conservation Commission, we always need someone who knows about soil.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. I kind of figured it would work.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Everyone has his or her expertise, but you don't find that one often. So it's much
good.
appreciated.
Thank you.
Question and comment. I'm gonna echo that because she kind of jumped the gun. I was so excited to see your application and your resume because it looks like you're going to be such an asset to this committee and the town. Question, you said you saw an opening. Where or how did you see it?
My sister lives in Carver.
Okay.
she told, well, she's been living here for a long time, so she let me know, and she
Okay.
knew my background, of course.
So word of mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know where she found out?
What?
Do you know where she found out?
Facebook? I don't know.
All right. Hey, I'm just trying to track it.
I don't know.
piece it
Yeah,
in.
I don't know
Okay.
where she found out. No,
So
I
word
don't.
of mouth. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
word
you.
of mouth. Yeah,
Welcome.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And I just want to echo what some other board members have said. I think you'll be a tremendous asset to the board. Anything else from you, Mr. Hall?
I just want to thank you for stepping forward and volunteering for this, or, putting your application in. We don't have a lot of people that do that, and especially where you haven't been in town for that long. That's even more impressive. So I know personally I appreciate you stepping
thank you.
forward and
Thank you.
wanting to take an interest. We need more people like that.
Yeah, and my 2 cents, I'm looking at your resume, it's like custom designed for this need. So, yeah, I mean, this is, for me, it's a no-brainer. It looks like you've got the skill set and be up and running in no time. So, thank you very much for applying.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Is there a motion?
I move that we appoint David Hall to the Conservation Commission.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you very much, Mr. Hall, for stepping up. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Don't forget to get sworn in.
Yeah. So what do I got to do next? What's my?
Go to the town clerk's office and get sworn in. I think they're open till 7.
Oh, I can just go over there right now then.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Yep.
Oh, great. Great. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Actually, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next on our agenda this evening is a discussion and possible vote to revoke licenses for the Little Red Smokehouse. And this is an issue that I think has been going on for quite a while now. Mr. Fennessy?
So,
This restaurant did not renew when they got the letter of renewal last fall, or winter. We sent letters December 2nd, 9th, calls December 2nd, 9th, 20th, and 28th with no response. We sent letters on March 30th with no response, and another one on April 15th, no response. So we checked with town council on the process, what we have to do to revoke the license. So I would suggest that you make a motion to have a hearing to revoke the license for non-payment.
Okay, so you would suggest that we not do anything this evening, but set a date for a hearing?
Yes, a motion to set a date for a hearing.
Okay,
And I would suggest we do it at the next meeting.
our next meeting is
Maybe
May 24th, so that should be
maybe
plenty of time
6:15.
to give notice.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we set a public hearing for May 24th for the purpose of revocation of the license for Little Red Smokehouse.
At what time?
At
6:15?
at 6:15?
Do we have anything, any conflicts that,
I think our poll hearings might be at 6:15, so
What was that?
6:30,
6:45.
6:30?
I think the poll hearing 15 minutes.
You can be late to start a hearing.
Okay.
so, I'm
6:30.
sorry.
6:30.
6:30? Okay, at 6:30 PM.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mr. Cotter?
Sorry, quick question. When we send these notifications out, do they get sent, certified mail?
Certified
returns that
return.
requested?
Yeah.
They do, and no response whatsoever.
All right, anything else?
Just one quick question. And this means they have not paid their taxes either?
I don't know if they paid.
Yeah, I'm not, they probably, I'm not sure, because
Okay.
we wouldn't
We
issue
wouldn't
the
know that.
license unless they paid their taxes, and we never got to the point of issuing the license.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. All right. Next up is Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District, SERPED, Commission appointment, and a select board representative appointment, and the Joint Transportation Planning Group representative and alternate appointment. I know we discussed this a little bit at our last meeting, and we discussed possibly Tom Bott as our representative. Did we have any discussions with Mr. Bott?
Yes, and he confirmed he would be the select board rep.
Okay. All right. Do we need two reps or just one?
So you need a select board rep, a planning board rep for this, and then the joint transportation. The planning board is going to decide at their next meeting who their planning board rep will be, and then we will get that information for you for the next meeting too.
Okay, so we're just making one appointment this evening.
You're making one appointment for that, and then the
And just-
appointment and the alternate for the joint transportation.
All right. So is there discussion about this? Is everyone okay with Mr. Bott being the select board representative?
I move that we appoint Tom Bott, our town planner, as the select board representative to SERPED.
I'll second that.
All right. You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that is unanimous. And now we need Joint Transportation Planning Group representative and alternate appointment. My understanding that John Woods is interested in being the representative, and Chris Vincent is interested in being the alternate. Any other thoughts on that?
I think they're appropriate for those roles.
I know John Woods, but I don't know who Chris Vincent is. Is he?
He's the foreman with DPW.
All right. Is there a motion?
Move we appoint John Woods as the joint transportation representative and Chris Vincent as the alternate.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Moving right along this evening. Next up is a discussion on the town administrator hiring process. And a couple of updates.
Mr. Chairman, I think I'm going to recuse myself since I'm a candidate.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fennessy. All right, so Just as a bit of an update, I've spoken with the chair of the screening committee, Tom Walsh, and he informs me that the committee interviewed candidates last Saturday, and they also will be interviewing more candidates this week. And they hope to be sending a list over to the select board by the end of this week. So we should have all information on those candidates by the end of the week. Since Mr. Fennessy is going on vacation and is returning May 18th, correct, Ms. Weston? He comes back on May 18th. So it's my hope to be able to set up a town administrator interviews on Thursday, the 19th. Of course, that's tentative on whoever the applicants are being able to make interviews on the 19th, but that would be my goal. I think we have a couple of things we have to keep in mind here. First of all, Mr. Fennessy has a contract that expires on June 30th. So it's in everybody's interest, I think, to move this process along as quickly as we can.
And he is an applicant as well. And he is an applicant as well.
He is an applicant as well. That's right. So I know that Ms. Weston has sent an email out to the board asking everyone to submit interview questions for the process by Wednesday, May 11th. So make sure if you haven't responded already that you get those questions back to her. So hopefully if we have interviews on the 13th, we could discuss and see how the board feels after those interviews.
Not us on the 13th.
I'm sorry, on the 19th. We could discuss that and see how the board feels on the 19th. We also have a meeting on the 24th. So if we weren't prepared to make decisions on the 19th, we could schedule something for the 24th. Thoughts from the board? Mr. Carter?
Sorry, just a question on the process. All the candidates that they're looking at right now have been through a.
John, I'm sorry, can you use your mic?
All the candidates that we've seen so far have already been, vetted through a third party?
They've all been vetted by the consultant that they're using, and now they're in the process of being interviewed by the screening committee themselves. Several have been, I think they have a meeting tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
So we don't have to ask questions like background checks. All that's done for us by the third party?
No, that's already
Yes.
done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Sure.
Have we set a time for the meeting on the 19th?
No, we'll have to wait and see who the applicants are, what times they can make.
Okay, and just to be clear, and again, for appearance sake, you had said that we were using the 19th because Mr. Fennessy's on vacation, but there's no assumption that he's going to be a finalist. Correct? I mean, he's.
No, there's no assumption that he's going to be in the finalists. I have no idea who the finalists are and who the finalists aren't.
Okay, because making plans around a potential finalist schedule can almost look kind of sketchy if we don't do that for everybody else.
Yeah, no,
So-
it just, but again, I think we may as well just wait. It's easy to do these interviews all assign, assuming there's a chance that he will be a finalist. That's just, seems like it's better to wait.
Just want to be cognizant of the potential
Yeah, I know.
appearance of,
I have no idea who the finalists are.
okay.
And wasn't, oh, I'm sorry.
So just for the public's knowledge too, can you explain that people applied, then the recruiter interviewed them, and then from that list, they sent it to the committee, correct?
Yep, people applied. Those applications were gone to the recruiter, MRI, the professional recruiter that the screening committee hired. They reviewed applicants. They then interviewed applicants. They made a list of finalists, and then they sent those finalists to the screening committee.
And from that, the screening committee can take as many as they like, correct?
Yes, and I don't know how many they took, but I know the screening committee also wanted to interview the finalists themselves. The MRI, the consultant interviewed them,
Okay.
but the screening committee wanted to interview them themselves as well.
So I guess my question, say that the MRI gave them 5 finalists. Are those then the 5 finalists, or can the screening committee narrow it down from there? Do we know? Is that?
MRI sent them a list of finalists. I don't know
Okay.
how many finalists
Okay.
they
No, what I
sent.
mean is, the finalists that was set up by MRI, Are those the finalists, or can the screening committee whittle it down from there? Do
The
we
screening
know?
committee could whittle it down
Okay.
from there if they want. That's why they're interviewing those finalists themselves.
Okay.
So if they didn't feel comfortable with one or more, then they wouldn't refer them to
Okay.
us.
I just want to make sure that, because that's why we appointed the screening committee, was to make sure that they had a voice in that it wasn't just, I don't want to say pushed through, but it wasn't. Okay.
That's why,
Just
from what
wanna
I
double
understand,
check.
the screening committee wanted to make sure they interviewed the candidates themselves and just didn't take the recommendations from MRI.
Okay, great, thank you.
My pleasure. Anything else? All right. So that's the process. We'll have more updates as it goes forward and we get the information from the screening committee. We don't have, obviously, any information on finalists from the screening committee, any names or anything, so.
I guess I did, one last question, sorry.
Sure.
If we're gonna meet on the 19th, and the screening committee is coming to that meeting?
No, the screening committee would just be us and the applicants.
So will we get information before the meeting, like
Yes.
the people's resumes and everything else? Okay, good.
Yes, hopefully you will have that by the end of this week,
Good.
or relatively close to the end of to that time period anyway. They plan on forwarding that information as soon as they're done with their interviews and they've made their referrals to the select board.
Good.
Okay? Anything else? All right, we are moving right along this evening. Let's see, next up, minutes, licenses, topics not reasonably anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance. We do have one item.
Mr. Chair, should someone get Mr. Fennessy? I think he can come back now,
Yeah,
right?
you can come back. So we have a request from the Carver Girl Scouts for the use of Shirtlift Park on Saturday, May 21st, 2022, for the Girl Scout Information Day, starting at 12 p.m. Is there a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to approve the,
Request for count-owned property, request for use Shirtlift Park
okay,
on Saturday, May 21st, 2022 at 12 p.m.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none.
Just
All in
wanted,
favor?
oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to point out that they are a nonprofit, so there's no fee.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Let's see, our next meeting, so tentatively, our next regularly scheduled select board meeting right now is May 24th. But I do plan to schedule a meeting on the 19th, provided that the applicants can make interviews on the 19th. So be on the lookout for that. Approval of the minutes of April 26th, 2022. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for April 26, 2022.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Oh, sorry. Mr. Chair, I just, on page, what page is it? Page 4, I'm sorry, I just saw this, under the Habitat for Humanity application support. 1, 2, 3, the third sentence where it says Hewens read the requirements and inclusions of the funding. I just wanted to insert that I read those from an email from Amy Belmore, who is the development director at Habitat for Humanity. So they weren't wasn't just my statement. These were official documents from her.
Mr. Carter, you'd be willing to amend your motion to include
Yes.
Ms. Ewan's correction?
I have another amendment.
All right.
with the change. Just on, at the bottom of page 2, it was my comment to reach out to seniors who may feel they can't get to the meeting due to driving issues. Small change.
All right.
But I would make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
All right.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Let's see, approval and release of executive session minutes of April 5th, 2022.
When I looked at them, I noticed there is no time listed on the minutes. So should that be added?
Yep, you can have the time.
Okay.
Ms. Weston, can you make that correction? All right. All right, anything else on April 5th?
No, I would make a motion to approve the minutes of April 5th once the correct time is added.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, you have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain. Abstain.
I'm going to abstain as well. I wasn't at that
Okay.
meeting.
So 3 in favor and 2 abstentions. April 8th.
I added to the minutes or before this meeting, and I'm assuming that you and Sarah did not get a chance to review them. So I would ask that we table them until probably our meeting on the 24th, so you two have a chance to review the additions.
Yes,
Do that.
thank you, yes.
Ms. Weston, there's no issue with tabling those till that date, correct? All right, so motion to table those meetings till April 8th? Everyone good with that? All right. All right, approval of a one-day special license for Habitat of Humanity of Greater Plymouth on May 19th, 2022, from 4:30 to 7 p.m. The board will remember that this was on a previous agenda, and we had some questions about their insurance. They provided that information in your packet.
And they also have a bartending server
That's
service.
right. So is there a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to approve
I'll
the
second it.
one-day license.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is unanimous. And finally, the approval of the Harvest Triathlon on June 11th, 2022, from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Some things that I noticed, there are some discrepancies in the roads that are going to be used. On the April 27th letter, it says the police details will be posted and arranged at Cranberry Road at Federal Furnace Road. The road is not Federal Furnace, it's just Federal Road. In the request to use town roads, they correctly identify it as Federal Road. But then on the proposed bike course update 2022, at the bottom, they refer to it as Federal Street. So there's,
Nobody gets Carver's Road's name.
right, well, it's like, we know it's Federal Road, and the other people may too, but the fact that it's referred to 3 different ways, I would like to see it cleared up. Federal Furnace Road is in Plymouth. I mean, we have Cranberry Road and Cranberry Street. We have Shaw Road and Shaw Street.
And Cranberry Circle.
Right, so I think it needs to be cleaned up. And while it may not impact their day, I think we need to hold them accountable for the accuracy of what we're approving, so.
I understand that. They may need some time to publicize this, though, and it's June 11th, and we don't have another regularly scheduled meeting until May 24th. So, keep that in mind.
I understand. I have nothing against the event. I think it's great, but the accuracy of things is, and it's not like it was just once. There's 3 different references.
So, Mr. Chair, maybe I should suggest that we approve it, contingent on them just correcting their street names, so they can get the event out
I
in
think that
time.
might be a good idea, and I worry that otherwise they may not have enough time to get the word out on their event.
Could I just add to that? I agree 100% with Sarah's comments, but do we want to say something like, you know, the address is corrected and approved by the police chief?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, has this been run by the police at all?
Yeah, I believe all the EBLs are in your packets.
Okay.
All three public safety chiefs.
That's what I thought.
reviewed
I
it
thought I
and
saw
approved
that.
it.
And they had no issue with any of the road names or?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Ms. Ewens, is that a motion?
Yes, that's a motion.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Can we just get the applicant to confirm that they know that they've made mistakes along the way? Since the police have approved it, I'd like acknowledgement from them that in each of these instances, they meant federal road when they wrote it incorrectly. Because otherwise, if they're not made aware, this is just gonna happen again next year. I know we've had applications in the past that mess up. So I would just like to know that they know they made mistakes.
We can notify
So-
them whether they acknowledge it or not. We don't have much control over that.
Okay, because, I mean, their bike course is wrong. It says federal street. So,
But wasn't that part of Sarah's motion to
well, that was just,
have them, to
Have them
confirm,
make the
to have them
corrections.
confirm the corrections?
to have, it
was
involves
my
them,
motion.
not just the police. As long as the applicant is made aware of the issues and
That was
corrects
my motion,
Yes,
that they
okay.
correct the
Right.
streets.
Great.
Right.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you. Select Board notes, there are none this evening. Select Board community announcements. Mr. Cotter.
I'm sorry, I do not have any, but thank you for asking.
Thank you. Ms. Bogart?
Well, this is the first of many. I'm excited to say we have confirmed June 25th as the date for the townwide yard sale. I have emailed Ms. Weston the official flyer and sign-up form and asked her to post it on the town website and the town's Facebook page. Once that's done, I will start advertising and promoting outside, and registration is open. So June 25th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Carver Townwide Yard Sale. Look for details on the town website.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
Mr. Hoffman?
I just wanted to mention that the Carver Athletic Boosters are having their annual golf fundraiser, which is the largest fundraiser of the year for the group, on May 21st at Southers Marsh. We still have a few openings for golfers, also looking for hole sponsors and raffle donations. So, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ewens?
I have nothing tonight, thank you.
All right. Thank you. And just for myself, last weekend, I had the opportunity to attend the grand opening of the Lost Boot Trail on the Orange Trail and the Cole property. This was a project that Dan Badger, Michael Fisk, and a whole bunch of folks put together. And it was really an extraordinary bridge. So if you have a chance, take a hike out. Again, it's on the Orange Trail in the Cole property, and it's quite an endeavor. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to everyone involved. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Have a good week.